Marty, the final international break of the season, did you get to enjoy it?
A little bit of short break, but still good to rest a bit with the family and come back with energy for the final rush.
After a difficult run leading into it, what was the focus over the last fortnight, and how challenging was it, obviously, in terms of the availability of players, people on international duty, etc.?
Well, I think that the focus now, it's very clear, is that we have 6 weeks in front of us with 8 games, that we need to make sure that we improve the last performances, the last results, because the reality is that the main target has not been achieved yet, and I think that it will be naive to expect that this is going to be an easy end of the season. We need to be very competitive. We need to get back on track as soon as possible in terms of getting 3 points as soon as possible. First, to achieve the first target. Second, to achieve what I've been saying for a long time, that it was my personal and I think as well the team target, to try to achieve hopefully the same amount of points than last season, if not more. And we know that we're still 8 games left. We need to win at least 4 to achieve that, and this will not be easy. But take it game by game and make sure that we show our best performance level to achieve this.
You always speak about fine margins. You've said it when things have been going well. You've said it when it's been more difficult. Have you been able to put your finger on what has been different in more recent weeks in terms of those fine margins not going our way?
Yeah, definitely it was a couple of things. One of them is that unfortunately we conceded some cheap goals that at the end were very costly. Sometimes because we could have done definitely better, but a small chain of mistakes. Sometimes because as well the opposition show an extreme quality. For example, on the top corner from a 30 meters shoot, it's quality from the position, and you just need to accept that. So we definitely need to defend better those situations. And then in other games, perhaps we have been missing a little bit of, I use the word with the players about urgency. We miss a little bit more of intensity in our game. We release a little bit more of ball tempo, quality on our last pass, quality on our last, a little bit more of courage to press strongly after losing the ball. So I think that these are small things that at the end are game changers. And in some games I would say that against, for instance, Sheffield United, against Leeds, I think the team show a good competitive phase. But in other games like Borough, for instance, certainly it was not the expression that we want to have as a team.
Final 8 matches. Do you enjoy the business end of the season, as it's referred to?
I enjoy the competition. I enjoy no matter when it is, but it's true that when it's the final rush and you have a feeling that now you can see, okay, what it's going to be, more or less, if you're going to achieve the target or not, if you are ready to achieve something else. This is something always exciting, and at the end of the days we are here to achieve things. So certainly now it's a moment where we know that all the players now, some of the international players came back from long trips, and you see the amount of minutes that many of those guys have on their legs. That's why I give a lot of credit to what this group has achieved despite this adversity that we face this season. Challenging start, the team is competing no matter what, and that's why I have full belief on those guys for these next 8 games.
You've made a point that we're not safe yet. That is the first challenge, to get to 50 points, and then the target after that as well. How important is the personality of the players in these final 8 matches in terms of that challenge, in terms of being right, in terms of the mindset as much as the physical aspect?
Massive, but as well I think that it's just a club expression, as I will say as well. It comes from the coaches, it comes from the staff, it comes from everyone. We need to make sure that no matter what, we try always to win the next game. As I encourage the players to win the next small-sided game, to try to win the next friendly, to try to win whatever we do. So I will say that first of all we need to be very aware that this is a ruthless league, that we don't know if it's going to be 50, if it's going to be 48, or if it's going to be 52 to avoid relegation. But reality is that so far we are not there yet. And second is that I will not be still happy, despite the main target was to avoid relegation, and it must be to avoid relegation. Then the target is always to be better on whatever we do. And if last season we achieved those 56 points, I really want to challenge the players, to challenge everyone, to see if we can beat that amount of points. So the opportunity is there in front of us. It will not be easy, and that's what everybody needs to understand, that despite the position in the table, despite how we look 1-2 months ago, I understand the up and downs that this season as well can create in terms of feelings, but reality football is that you need to be on top of your game, otherwise you get punished quickly.
Stoke City are currently 1 point above the bottom three. Does that make them a bigger challenge in terms of the energy within the stadium and on the pitch that you will face?
Yes, because we know when you are playing to avoid relegation, when you have been, or when you are that close, then you know that there is a lot of pressure, a lot of tension. So it's a very important game for us, and we need to play with exactly the same urgency that they will, because we know what they will play for. And I think the gap is not that big for us to be relaxed and go there, just thinking that we can handle in an easy way. It's not the case. We need to be, first of all, as a team, no matter who we play against, I think that we can compete with everyone in this league, as we show in the last game against Leeds. But we can do when we are at top of our game. If not, we have no chance. So we need to play with this level of intensity, with this level of urgency, because reality is that in the last 6 games, Stoke has got 4 clean sheets at home, only 1 lost. So they're showing that they are a reliable team with quality, with an experienced manager, and that is not easy to beat at home.
Aside from their strong home form, and I know you're not going to tell me what you believe are their weaknesses, but what would you say are Stoke's strengths in terms of why they're so good at home?
I would say, first of all, obviously it's probably a challenging season for them in terms of changing manager and so on. I have big respect for Mark Robbins, for everything he achieved at Coventry, and then coming into a club like Stoke with quality players. I'm sure that it will not be an easy game, in the sense that they are a team that is good on the counter. They're a team that has changed quite a lot, I would say, from the beginning of the season, that now it's very good on the way they press high. They are very strong on this. So we need to understand what kind of game we're going to face, where will be the space to attack them, and how we can control those counters.
And in terms of the start of the final run-in, what will be your final message to your players just before kick-off on Saturday?
All in terms of mentality, all in terms of having the hunger and the urgency to understand that we need to do an important job, and all the progress that we had over the last 38 games, we need to make sure that we keep on pushing until the end, because still an opportunity to finish in a strong way. And that has been the case always with my teams in all my career, and I don't want this year to be an exception.